Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by today and I hope you're all doing wonderfully. So today's video is a watercolor plein air painting video and I just thought I would take you through a little adventure that I've been on recently. So I joined the National Trust recently and went up to my local castle, which is Powis Castle. And for those who don't know, it's a Welsh castle. It was once owned by the Herbert family, and that is the extent of my knowledge of Powis Castle. I really should read up on its history. But basically, I really love its gardens. Its gardens are amazing. They're a wonderful place where I can go and sit and just listen to the birds and be outside, touch some grass, which is always useful. But the whole point of the experience was to get outside and sort of paint from life and try and be a little more adventurous with what I was doing instead of always relying on reference photos and stuff, is to actually get out there and draw. And one of the things that I've noticed and one of the things that I have learned and realized with being outside and actually being there is you notice so much more about the environment that you're in, because you're not just painting a static picture, you are actually painting life. And it's really magical because you could just be sitting there and looking at this little bundle of bulrushes or something like that, and then suddenly a little dragonfly will go by. And obviously I can't speak for everyone, but for me and for my imagination, that's something that sparks off so much. The stories that I want to come up with of what this little dragonfly is doing in his day. How is his day going? What sort of things has he seen? Where does he travel? What does the world look like for him? And that kind of thing is exactly what I want to capture and what I want to animate. I'm very enchanted by all the little adventures, the little bits of magic, and the little things. I wonder where he's going, I wonder what they're doing. So being outside in this magnificent garden, because Powis Castle has got an amazing garden. They've got this gorgeous rhododendron garden, which is their rhododendrons are hundreds of years old and they are massive and they're just stunning. And then you get these super impressive bits of architecture and the gates, and they've got walled gardens and obviously a lot of manicured bits and pieces, but then they've got the wilderness as well where you walk through. And I didn't manage to get a video of it for this video, but there's a fallen tree up at Powis Castle that somebody carved, and they carved dragons into it, and in a stroke of absolute genius they carved saddles onto the dragons so you can sit on these little sleeping dragons, and it wakes up the child in you that just wants to believe in magic, and it's amazing. And I always think that even if you aren't an artist, just grab a piece of paper and some pencils or some pens and just go outside and draw, because it is so therapeutic. It's almost hypnotic, where you're just sitting there and you're listening to the breeze and to the birds and you're drawing. It's you're channeling all of your energy into something, and it's something constructive because you're creating something. And especially if you remove the expectation that you have to create this perfect sketchbook page of it. So I would recommend it to anybody. As you can see, Powis Castle, it is an enchanting place. It's gorgeous and I absolutely recommend going there for anybody. But getting back to kind of the point of the video, I also wanted to show what my little plein air kit looks like. So I've got a tiny little watercolor sketchbook, and I've got this gorgeous little velvet pouch that's got a little fox embroidered on it. And this thing's like my Mary Poppins bag because I just keep pulling stuff out of it. So I've got my little palette. This is my Schmink palette, which is slightly bigger than this one. It's got more colors in it, I should say. Whereas this one is a Winsor & Newton palette and it only has 14 colors in it. I think the Schmink palette has more than 14 colours. I don't know off the top of my head, I can't remember. I basically crammed in as many half pans as I could. But then in the little pouch that I've got, I've also got my rotring pen, I've got a white jelly pen, my Lamy fountain pen is in there, and I've got this little Tombow eraser, which is a mechanical pencil but an eraser, and I love it. It's so handy. Not that I use that one very much for plein air drawing. And then I've got some colour pencils, I've got a mechanical pencil, and then my little like travel paintbrush, and I love these. So these are Da Vinci brand travel paintbrushes, and they're my favourite ones. This is the one that I accidentally threw away and then had to go rummaging around in the skip for to get back because I didn't realise they were so expensive. And then this is a Koh-i-Noor versatile pencil. It's like a clutch pencil, and it's got this really chunky lead in it, and it's so much fun to draw with. Like, it just feels so nice in your hand. It's kind of weighted, and it's really nice, and you can get like 4B and 6B leads for those, I believe. I think you can get other ones as well, but yeah. And then I've got a smaller Da Vinci brush. Not that I use this one very often. I use the size 5, and that one seems to do everything that I need, but I have got a small one just in case I want to do teeny tiny details. And then your good old classic eraser and pencil sharpener, which is a very chunky pencil sharpener for the very chunky pencil. And that's it. My little Mary Poppins bag is sad and empty. It's quite a massive amount of stuff that I managed to get in there. So this is like my little plein air kit, and this comes out with me in my little bag all the time. So whenever I go out, it's just always in my bag. And I don't have a tremendously big bag. I've got one of the little Loungefly ones, and it fits in there. So it really doesn't take up much space, and it's really nice. And this one in particular was made by Powder. I don't know if you can see that, but like if you want this specific pouch, you can just type in Powder embroidered fox makeup bag, I think. Something like that. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to finish off the little sketches that I did up at Powis Castle because I didn't finish them off. It was hot and I needed to go in. So these are made by Pink Pig, and it's got my lovely stickers on it because I stick stickers on everything. So here's the drawing that I was doing at Powis Castle, and I did a second one of the lake as well. So this one wasn't actually a plein air drawing. This was one that I painted just from reference pictures using the Schmincke palette, but I think it turned out okay. I wanted to just finish off this little painting, so I'm going to use my rotary pen to just add some extra outlines because I wanted to practice and play around with some different styles anyway. So like the last watercolour painting that I did where I had the ivy on the rock, I wasn't particularly happy with, so I just wanted to build on that a little bit more. And to unblock my rotary pen, basically all I do is I just dip it in water and then draw little circles, and that's it. Super easy to unblock. So I'm just adding in lots of little lines and just being very loose and very sketchy. There's no consequences if I put a pen mark in the wrong place. And that's something that's really important for me with plein air painting as well, is that it's very freeing because I approach it with the attitude of I'm going to make a mess on this page. Like, I want to fill this page up with as many little sketches and drawings and stuff as possible, and I don't care if they're perfect. And by doing that, you allow yourself an amount of freedom that actually makes your artwork advance in leaps and bounds, because you really do have to get all of the ugly drawings out of the way before you'll build up your skill level. And that really is how you grow as an artist. It is, Berlioz. Yeah. He's saying that he always draws perfect pictures. I'm sure he does. So my advice for anybody wanting to try plein air or just get into sketching and stuff is just do it. That's literally all you need to do, is just pick up a pencil and do it. And don't be afraid to make ugly drawings, because that's the only way that you're going to progress and get better and learn. And on the way, you will discover your own kind of style, and that's basically the aim. So this watercolor painting has actually been dry for quite a while, so the time between like when I went to Powis Castle and when I'm working on this, I think is like just under a month or so. So all of the watercolour paint that I'd laid down at Powis Castle is dry, it's set into the paper, and the ink that I was drawing in the rotary pen is an acrylic ink, so I'm not concerned about anything like lifting up and tainting the colours. But I just wanted to add in some extra layering, and I snuck in my watercolour palette a little bit because it's got these two colours in it that I really love, which is mineral green and ultramarine ash, which are really, really good for glazing. And I wanted to add in like a bit of the background, so like a bit of the lake behind it, but just a hint. So I mixed it over the paint that I had just put down so that it all kind of blends nice and softly together, so you haven't got like really horrible harsh edges anywhere. And it worked really well. So after I'd put down all the paint, I just started adding in some extra little bits and pieces. I dug out a Scrivener pen from somewhere that also has the acrylic ink in it, and I thought, oh, I'd have a go making marks with that. And then brought in the Sakura jelly roll pens to just add some like white highlights, because I prefer to use those over white gouache. And then I just finished off some last little tidbits with the rotary pen. And always the hardest part is knowing when to stop, like knowing when to finish a piece or just call it done. But here it is, it's all finished. You can see all of the organic marks, you can see the painting, and thankfully it's not as luminescent as it seemed to be when I was out painting it on the grass at Powis Castle. And then here's the lake painting that I did. I really like these, and I did briefly touch on the brand of this paper. So it's made by a UK company called The Pink Pig, these little sketchbooks, and they're wonderful. Like, the paper is really good quality. It comes in two kinds, so you've got the Bockingford and the Amelie. So Bockingford has a texture, Amelie is closer to hot press, and they're wire bound, and they're these gorgeous little sketchbooks that I love taking everywhere, and they come in all sorts of sizes, so I've got some slightly bigger ones as well. And yeah, so hopefully I will fill all of these up and we'll go on lots of little adventures, and I'll animate lots of little things to go in them as well. So when I eventually do create a website and a shop, these two paintings will probably be available. I will take them out of the sketchbooks and I will scan everything in so that I've got nice copies of it, and then I will set them free to the world. So if you're interested in having like these cute little originals, then maybe keep an eye on my socials or keep an eye on my YouTube channel, and there'll be an announcement for that, or leave a comment down below and I'll let you know when they're available. And with that, I'm going to leave it there because I really need to go and have a drink, and and I want to get back to animating because I'm currently cleaning up my animations. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was enjoyable. Please do subscribe and like this video if you did enjoy it, and ring the notification bell. And feel free to also come and find me on Instagram and Threads. I am Thimble Loft on both. And hopefully I will see you next time. Ciao for now.